You make your money in the bear markets, but the trick is that you only see how much you've made once the bull market comes back around. So ask yourself, were you stacking during this bear market? If that's the case, you'll probably be fairly happy with yourself once crypto really starts to wake up again. In fact, just recently, one of our favorite projects went from a bear market low of 75.9 cents to its current price of about $1.10. So we're talking about a 50% gain. And if you've been DCAing into this project, dollar cost averaging, there's a good chance that you may be thanking yourself very soon. Where do we think the price of MATIC is going to go? Do you hold enough MATIC tokens to be a millionaire by the time the next crypto bull run comes around? In this video, we're breaking down all things Polygon and discussing where we think the price of MATIC is headed. Welcome to the channel. My name is Matty. This is Altcoin Buzz. We, of course, are big fans of MATIC and more generally Polygon as a project. Whether you choose to invest with us or not, I do wish you all the best of luck. But as you can probably tell, I am not a financial or investment advisor. So just remember that this video is not official financial or investment advice. Before we break down the price of MATIC and suggest how much you may want to consider having for the next crypto bull run, we need to understand where Polygon could go from here. We first need to understand where it's been and some of the context behind this really terrific project. Most of us are not whales. Most of us aren't orcas or sharks or manatees. We're probably closer to the minnow end of the crypto spectrum, and that's fine. So the point is that we're not necessarily holding tens of thousands of MATIC. Don't worry, that's fine. It just means that we need to play the numbers strategically, but we can still benefit and we can still capitalize on the movement of this great project. Let's remember that Polygon's own stated goal is to become the number 3 project in all of crypto. Looking at the charts today, Bitcoin sits at a market cap of $538 billion, followed by Ethereum at $212 billion. Right now, Polygon's a little bit further down the list, sitting at number 10 at just under $10 billion. And Tether sits currently at number 3. So if nothing else changes, of course it will, but let's assume for the sake of argument that nothing else changes, we need to see at least an 8 times multiplication in the price of MATIC in order to pass USDT. But of course, if nothing else changes, that sentence isn't reality. Things change all the time, and they will. That's a certainty. So we got to ask ourselves, how much could Polygon gain in the next big bull run? Let's consider the tokenomics here. The total supply of MATIC is 10 billion. Always look at these metrics, by the way, with 9.1 billion in circulation, so 91%. And it's up, like I said, on this move, up to about $1.10 right now, marginally on the day, but up pretty significantly in these last few weeks, and we'd have to bring it to about $7.80 to approach the current market cap of Tether. So pretty simple calculation here, 10 billion total supply times a $7.8 unit price brings us to $78 billion. Historically, the all-time low for MATIC came in 2019 at 3.1 tenths of a cent, or $0.0031. But those days, thankfully, are long gone. And the all-time high, by the way, was right after the big bull market top in November of 2021. And that high from December 2021 was $2.88. That would represent a 150% climb, approximately, from where we stand today. But perhaps more importantly, we got to ask ourselves, could Polygon and its token MATIC, of course, hit new all-time highs? Yes. Given the momentum that they've accrued as of late, the fact that they're firing on all cylinders as a project, we feel it's almost certain that they're going to be hitting new all-time highs. We did some technical analysis and asked our gurus what they thought about Polygon, asked them what they had to say about the price of MATIC. Here's the very specific feedback that we received based on Fibonacci analysis. So if we see $2.88 at the top of the previous cycle and 32 cents as the bottom of the previous cycle, then the next bull run would likely see MATIC head towards $1.30, $1.60, $1.90, $2.33, and $2.88. And then clearing that previous high, $2.88, would place MATIC in the long run of $4.46, $7.02, which is 2.4 times the previous all-time high. Looking at the all-time chart here of more than 5 years between MATIC and Ethereum, MATIC is actually up against ETH by 72%. And this, of course, means that in a bull market, when ETH rises, Polygon is going to rise even more and even faster. And that's corroborated by the market caps that we saw earlier, don't forget. As a reminder, we have 212 billion for ETH and only 10 billion for Polygon. 10 billion is a much easier project to move upwards. Not to say that we don't like ETH. We are big fans of Ethereum, actually, and we're calling for a $1 trillion Ethereum project in the next bull market. That would be a little over 4 times. But regardless of our enthusiasm for Ethereum, it's still easier to move a $10 billion project than it is to move a $212 billion project. But as an aside, I'm curious to know if you feel Ethereum could do a 4.5x approximately and hit $1 trillion, because I do feel that way. Don't forget, Bitcoin hit $1 trillion at its high, and very likely it will blow through that once again as it continues to be a safe haven away from these banks and their cascading failures. I guess the question is, could Bitcoin hit $10 trillion and Ethereum $1 trillion? I think $1 trillion personally is closer for Ethereum in the near future, but Bitcoin will hit $10 trillion one day. But just be sure to keep this chart in mind because it's telling us that MATIC gains value against Ethereum. Therefore, if ETH does a 4x, it could be much more than 4x for Polygon. Okay, but all that being said, how much Polygon do you actually need to acquire in order to have $1 million of MATIC at the height of the next bull run? So far, you've seen our bull arguments based on market value growth, market value dominance, technical analysis, and growth over time against Ethereum. And you know from videos like this one that's playing right now, check it out if you've not already. We did a deep dive into Polygon about a month ago. But you know from publications like this from Altcoin Buzz that MATIC is one of our top picks of the year. Okay, so specifically how much MATIC does it take? Well, in the next 2 to 5 years, we see MATIC going up to $40 to $60. It may sound like a lot right now, but that is the future we envision. And that would mean that Polygon is worth $400 to $600 billion. That's where Bitcoin is right now for reference. So at $40, you would need 25,000 MATIC. Or in the upper end of our range, you would need between 16,666 and 25,000 MATIC to become a Polygon millionaire. It's not about scalping quick profits today. It's not about profits tomorrow, next week, next month, or even next year, but a few years from now. And if you have that patience, and if you invest in quality projects, which we've identified in the form of MATIC, then your best bet is to probably be patient, not get too spooked when things go bad, or get too eager when things are momentarily going well. Once again, we are fans of Polygon for the long haul. Do you think it could hit $40? We do. Give it time, but let us know your feedback in the comments below.